effort. Why has no one been able to tell him what wrongs he's done? Doing me harm.
Welcome to Trials and Crime TV. In this video, you will see a top 5 of sovereign citizens who, for believing that the law does not apply to them, ended up in a worse situation in court, if you like. The video, do not forget to subscribe and leave us your comment. Let's start. Number 1, we are in Dayton Municipal Court in Ohio for a trial in court presided over by Judge Mia Spells. The defendant is Anthony Matthews, 55, has been charged with driving on a suspended license. Matthews considers himself a sovereign citizen, someone who believes certain laws don't apply to him. And as the trial begins, it's clear he doesn't plan to follow the rules.
I demand that you dismiss this man immediately.
He has already filed several motions aimed at challenging the court's authority over him, but the judge is not convinced.
Let me explain to you the rules here in the court. Let me explain to you the rules of the court, sir.
I do not care to take part in fraud. Not at all.
Judge Spells warns Matthews that by continuing to interrupt her, he is forcing his deadlock with the court. He may be held in contempt.
You can be found in contempt if you continue to interrupt me. We'll proceed with trial with you in abstention, sir, and we're going to find you in contempt. What I'm going to do is give you...
That's the record. The court is attempting to use coercion to...
You're interrupting the proceedings of the court, sir, and it is direct contempt. It is direct contempt, and we're going to take you into custody, sir. We will give you a hearing, and you'll have the hearing. We will find counsel for you.
As the agents approach Matthews, tensions reach a boiling point. As Matthews confronts the officer, 2 off-duty police officers in the jury box rise to help detain him. One of them throws several punches at Matthews as the state judge and courtroom staff clear the area. More officers enter the courtroom as Matthews is knocked to the ground. In total, 6 people are involved in knocking Matthews down after several minutes and 2 pairs of handcuffs. Anthony Matthews, after being double handcuffed, he was taken to a remand prison. Matthews is escorted out of the courtroom the next day. Matthews appears again before the spelling judge to answer for the contempt of court charge. He still represents himself.
Yesterday's proceeding was in error on my behalf. I take full blame for my actions.
The court believes the conduct of Mr. Matthews severely threatened the integrity of the court and its proceedings, and such that immediate action was necessary.
The judge sentenced Matthews to 1 year of probation, and the sentence served for driving with a suspended license and contempt of court charges. In addition, he was charged with 2 counts of assault on a law enforcement officer and 1 count of obstruction of public duty as a result of his confrontation with officers and other court officials. He remains at large pending trial on these charges, held in Placerville, California. Number 2, in the state of El Dorado County Superior Court, California, Mr. Asher Edwards, 39, appears for arraignment.
Hello, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
Edwards' demeanor may seem pleasant, but just a few days ago, his alleged behavior was anything but pleasant. He was accused of committing terrorist acts. A few days earlier, his alleged conduct was nothing to write home about. He was charged with making terroristic threats, threats of assault with a deadly weapon, and obstructing law enforcement officers after a domestic disturbance escalated.
Mr. Edwards, this is the time and place set for your arraignment. Do you consent to have an arraignment by video conference?
Sir, is this an Maritime Admiralty Law courtroom that we're processing me through?
No, it's not.
Edwards considers himself a citizen who lives as a free man, as they like to say, under the common law established by the Founding Fathers. The Admiralty Law he refers to is the law of the sea and international commerce, a body of law that sovereign citizens believe is the foundation of the country's modern legal system, which they reject.
This is not a Maritime Admiralty Law courtroom. I believe so.
No.
Absolutely, it is. All courtrooms in this country are Maritime Admiralty Law courtrooms that process people, aren't they?
No, sir.
That's false information. Well, either way, this courtroom is trying to process me as state property. You see this fictitious name statement? Asher Edwards, spelled in all capital letters? This is not my name.
Edwards refers to another sovereign belief that at birth one is issued a government identity, that is, one's name written in capital letters, as on a birth certificate or a social security card, and that this does not represent one's true or free self.
This name was issued to me without my consent, and you cannot legally process me through this courtroom with this without this name in all capital letters that was issued without my consent. My name is spelled Asher Edwards, first capital, all lowercase, Edwards, first capital, all lowercase, and this is the birth name given to me by my parents, protected by the Constitution of the United States.
Edwards becomes louder and more animated. The judge seems to take it all in stride and even allows the defendant to finish his speech.
Therefore, it is illegal for you to process me through this courtroom, so you guys have to figure out something else to do with it.
This judge is all business, so thinking of anything else to do with Edwards isn't in his plans.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Will show time is not waived. We'll set this matter for pre-preliminary hearing within the statutory period.
And I would like to see the gun. It said I had a gun. I've never had a gun.
In his speech about the alleged gun, the judge takes up his own weapon of choice, the mute button.
They're lying.
Do not speak while I am speaking, sir.
Asher Edwards was later found guilty on all charges and sentenced.
Court will set bail in the amount of $72,500. Next matter.
Button Asher Edwards was sentenced to 1 year in prison for his crimes. Number 3. In Kanawha County Magistrate Court in West Virginia, during a pretrial hearing, someone is heard saying,
Henry T. Eldon, Henry T. Eldon, Henry T. Eldon.
Henry T. Eldon is in the courtroom but refuses the magistrate's order to approach the defendant's table.
I have called him thrice. I have no response. Get up here in this seat right now.
That's right, the judge summoned Eldon 3 times, and he faces multiple charges, including fraudulent official proceedings and fraudulent service of debts related to the false filing of claims with the court. Today, a friend who is recording the proceedings on his cell phone joins the courtroom and gets involved himself.
I'm a witness, okay? Okay, what I'm saying is, he is present, and he's chosen not to step up there. He's asking not for appointed lawyer. He doesn't need an attorney.
So you're acting in the capacity
I'm not
of lawyer?
acting. I'm a witness.
You're a
This is
witness?
American National.
American National.
An American National is another nod to the sovereign citizen movement. That both he and the defendant with whom I identify myself finally Eldon respond to Judge Ward Harbarger, but still refuse to appear.
The court reporter has to be established before
Yes.
anything can proceed.
Well, okay, well, get up in your seat now, and we will wait for that. We have some preliminary thing.
We're all waiting for the court reporter to be.
Do it now. All right, this is State versus Henry T. Eldon Jr. Mr. Eldon, I need to have a seat at the defendant's table.
For the record, I'm
Shut
a
up and
witness.
sit down. You sit down and not say another word.
Apparently increasingly annoyed, the judge turns to his deputy in the courtroom for help.
Would you get Mr. Eldon? Let me show you where the seat is, please.
May I have permission?
You may have a seat right there.
I'm happy with
You may have a seat right there.
Eldon finally takes the stand before the judge, but it won't be for long.
You are going to be held in contempt.
All right, Mr. Allen, can you just stand up for me, please? Turn around and place your hands behind your back, if you would.
And who are you? And do you have a warrant, a signed
I do not
warrant?
have a warrant. I've just been made aware by the judge that he wants me to take you into custody for obstructing judicial process, okay?
But before the magistrate arrested and handcuffed the defendant, he pulled out one last move from each parent's manual and counted to 3.
1. Have a seat. 2. Have a seat, please.
I would like to speak, and I have information to present. I don't know how I'm instructing.
Last warning.
You won't comply
Get in the
with what he's
seat
asking
and
you to
we'll
do.
proceed.
Once again stuck in a stalemate, the judge decides to take action.
How do you plead?
I would like to see your oath of office. I'd like to see your letter accepting and acknowledging your office. And I would like to see the same for the prosecuting attorney, and to know the names of everyone in this room. I need that before I understand what's going on, sir.
So the answer, and I will answer for him, is not guilty. Okay?
I haven't made any plea, nor should you make any
All
plea.
right.
I don't accept that. I don't accept
Well, I don't care
anything that's
whether
happened
you
here today.
accept it or not,
I did
Mr.
not
Allen.
give your own
You
position.
may score him out. Court is adjourned.
The court didn't confirm the details, but according to Eldon, he failed to appear for his next court hearing and was arrested on a warrant, serving 2 weeks in jail. He also says the original charges of fraudulent service and fraudulent official proceedings against him were filed later. Number 4.
You are in contempt, Mr. Chitelgate?
No, I'm not.
Don't be quiet right now.
You
I
are
will
in
have you
contempt of
arrested.
law, Stormy.
In the Eureka City Courthouse, Eureka, Montana, a man wears a no hunting or trespassing sign around his neck. His name is Ernie Tertelgi. He calls himself a sovereign citizen, better known as the natural living man. The 57-year-old is in court today representing himself on charges of driving with a suspended license and obstructing a peace officer during his arrest. But now, after Mr. Tertelge interrupted proceedings during jury selection, Judge Stormy Langston is holding him in contempt of court.
You are in contempt, Mr. Chitelgate?
No, I'm
Don't
not.
be quiet right now.
You
I
are
will
in
have you
contempt of
arrested.
law, Stormy. You're in contempt of law. I'm standing for my
Officer
country's
Hines,
constitution, my
take Mr.
country's
Chitelgate
people,
into custody, please.
and I'm not keeping hands off me, Clint.
While security attempts to remove the telegate, City Attorney Clifton Hayden detains one of its supporters.
We understand. Keep your hands off of me. Keep your hands off of me. Keep your hands off of me. Clinton Hines, you are guilty of conducting a military crime of foreign war. I'm an officer of justice.
Although Ernie was spoken to in a friendly manner, he prefers to force the situation.
What are we doing?
Back off.
Telgate is almost out of the courtroom when he grabs the door and pushes the officer through.
What are we doing?
Back off.
Leave me alone, Clinton.
As the somewhat awkward fight continues, Telgate's followers are commenting.
This man, leave me alone. Deserve this. Leave me alone. Unconstitutional.
He hasn't done any wrong.
Why has no one been able to tell him what wrongs he's done? Doing me harm. Why has no one been able to tell him what wrongs he's
Back
done?
off. Are you getting in it?
I'm backing off. Respect me now.
Telgate continues. The sovereign citizen argues that the court has no jurisdiction over him.
When I comply, it will not be because contract is established.
When Telgate is finally handcuffed, one of his supporters addresses Judge Langston.
Your Honor, can I ask a question without getting claimed for it?
What is your question, sir?
My question is what did Ernie do wrong? What did he do wrong?
He's not following the procedure and
The court has no jurisdiction.
What are the procedures to follow? The Constitution.
The court has no jurisdiction. This court has never answered for one thing.
Okay, at the very least, the common rules of being civil in a civil society.
Can we hold that officer as standstill,
Remove
please,
my
right now?
materials. All these people here.
No, you don't.
Listen, all these people, remove my materials. Get my hat, my constitution.
The incident. Ernie Telgate was found guilty of contempt of court, but served no prison time. He was also charged with assaulting a peace officer. That case is still pending. As for his original charge of driving with a suspended license, he was also found guilty, but again served no prison time. The charge of obstructing a peace officer was dismissed. Number 5. Next up, we're at the Cheshire County Courthouse in Keene, New Hampshire. The court is currently in recess, but trouble is brewing in the gallery.
Your choice is take the hat off or step outside.
The judge asked this man, Bo Davis, to remove his hat or leave. Otherwise, he could be charged with contempt of court, but Davis refuses.
So I have force threatened upon me if I were to wear a hat.
Davis and a few others seated around him are associated with a New Hampshire-based anti-government movement. They're here to support a fellow defendant in a recessed right-to-travel case. These so-called sovereign citizens claim to be fighting what they consider overreach in the criminal justice system and aren't afraid to speak out.
I think you misunderstood. It's the judge's authority when he comes back. If at that point he says he's in contempt, then you have the authority.
Would not have been an issue had you. Your choice is take the hat off. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. I can't. You're making threats.
I can't after more back and forth with Davis and relentless comments from others in the gallery.
What's the matter with you guys, huh?
Bail finally finished discussing the matter.
Stand up, please. Sir, treat others as you would wish. Come on, please. I'm being nice.
Well, I'm not going to assist in my own arrest.
I don't want. You should take your hands off that man.
Please stand up.
A second person arrives to help remove Davis, but again he refuses to get up.
I'm not going to assist in my own arrest.
I'm not asking you to assist. Please do not hurt him.
Instead of forcibly removing Davis from the courtroom, help arrives in a wheelchair.
They're just leaving you alone now.
As Davis is led away, the group continues to insult those behind him.
Ever considered like a real job? One where you don't use violence against people?
Despite his protests, the court has the authority to set rules regarding courtroom conduct. So a short time later, the judge returned to the courtroom and sentenced Bo Davis to 5 days in jail for contempt of court.
You know, you were going to take my picture. I got a haircut.
Good one. I'm glad you can make jokes.